I traveled back in time to witness the Black Death and survived. I chose 1348. The moment I arrived, I knew I had made the biggest mistake of my life. The smell came first. It wasn't just bad, it was suffocating. It was the smell of an entire city rotting alive. And before I even understood what was happening, I already wanted to leave, but it was too late. The peak of the Black Death was right in front of me, and what I found there was so terrifying that for a long time I couldn't tell this story. Today, for the first time, I'm going to reveal everything, because surviving doesn't mean coming out unscathed. It just means staying alive. It all started when I was given the opportunity. Any historian would dream of traveling to the past. There was only one rule: do not interfere, observe, return. Sounds simple, right? But no one prepared me for the smell. Books talk about numbers, documentaries show maps, teachers talk about statistics. None of them can explain the odor of a dying city. As soon as I arrived, I realized I had made a mistake. The streets were almost empty. The few people walking kept their distance from each other, as if any closeness meant a death sentence. Some carried crosses, others pushed carts, but what was on those carts never left my memory. Bodies, stacked, no ceremony, no goodbyes, no names. I passed by a crowded church. I thought I would find hope. I found despair. People were praying, crying, and screaming at the same time. Some believed God had abandoned them. Others were certain the end of the world had come. At that moment, I realized something terrifying. They weren't just afraid of the disease. They were afraid of each other. A simple sneeze made everyone step back. A cough turned any stranger into a threat. It was like living inside a nightmare no one could wake up from. Then I met Thomas, a baker. He insisted. I come into his house. He said it had been days since he had spoken to someone who still looked healthy. We sat near the oven while he shared a piece of hardened bread. I asked where his family was. He stayed silent for a few seconds. Then he pointed to the backyard. There were 5 small wooden crosses. His wife, 2 children, his parents, all had died in less than 2 weeks. In that moment, I understood the speed of the plague. It didn't just destroy cities, it destroyed entire families before anyone could understand what was happening. I kept walking over the following days. The more I observed, the more I realized that fear created monsters. Many believed the air was poisoned, others blamed foreigners. Some said it was divine punishment. No one knew about bacteria. No one understood the true role of fleas carried by rats. Without answers, any theory seemed to make sense. That's when I saw something I will never forget. A child was trying to wake her mother lying in the street. She shook her and said, "Let's go home." But the woman was already dead. No one came close. Everyone was afraid to touch the body. I wanted to help her. I wanted to break the main rule of the journey. But any interference could change all of history and maybe prevent my return. I had never felt so cowardly. On the 4th night, I started hearing the bells. They rang almost non-stop. They didn't announce celebrations, they announced deaths. Each toll meant another family had lost someone. Sleeping was impossible. Silence didn't exist. There was always crying, always screaming, always carts passing by. That's when I noticed something strange on my arm. A small swelling. My heart raced. I knew that symptom, the buboes, the large swellings that gave the bubonic plague its name. My breathing quickened. For the first time, I thought I might never return home. I spent hours trying to convince myself it was just an insect bite, but doubt destroyed any sense of reason. When morning came, I started to feel feverish, or at least I thought I did. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was my imagination, or maybe it was the beginning of the end. The following days became a blur. I avoided all contact. I ate alone. I slept hidden. I watched my body constantly. Every pain felt like a sign. Every dizziness felt like a sentence. That's when I realized the plague's greatest weapon. It wasn't just the disease. It was terror. Fear made people sick even before infection. When the time finally came to return to the present, I ran like I had never run before. I crossed the extraction point without looking back, and for the first time in many days, I breathed clean air. I spent weeks undergoing tests, waiting for results, reliving every scene. In the end, I discovered that the swelling had really just been a bite. I was never infected, but something inside me remained trapped. In 1348 today, when I see discussions about epidemics, I immediately remember those faces. The child trying to wake her mother, the baker who buried his entire family, the carts carrying dozens of bodies. The Black Death killed tens of millions of people and completely changed the history of Europe. But there is something numbers can never show. The true horror wasn't just in the disease. It was in watching an entire society slowly lose hope. If I could travel back in time again, I would choose any other destination, because there are places that should never be visited, not even out of curiosity, and there are stories that leave invisible scars forever. Now, tell me in the comments, if you could travel to any moment in history, which would you choose? If you liked this story, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to follow the next time travels. See you in the next video.